Everybody else coming in that back door? As you know, I'm the substitute. Welcome to the LA School of Comedy. This is Monday, whatever you're going to call it, you know. I just want to remind everybody about the Film Actors Cafe in December. All right? That's Aaron's show. He's going to be teaching young teens and preteens and adults. It's free. Make sure you sign up. He'll announce it later during his set. I'm sure all of you are totally finished with election news. All right? Done with it. Though I was shocked that Oprah shook down Kamala Harris for $1 million, you know? And she gained a little weight, too. I saw her on TV today. She's getting a little chunky again. I guess Weight Watchers isn't exactly working, you know? I don't know why you're laughing, you know? It doesn't work on me. I realized the biggest problem with American politicians, they're too skinny. There's no way. I saw Joe Biden walking on the stand. There's no way you can walk on the stand on those stilt legs that they have. It's like they starved themselves, except for Chuck Schumer. You know, also Wiener. You know, not Wiener, the other one from New York. The one who the one who got the gastric bypass, the congressman from up New York. Anyhow, as you can see, I'm not Joe Rogan. All right, I don't have very much to say about politics, but I was telling the boys here about my carb salad today. I realized inflation and shrinkflation when there was no turkey in my carb salad. And this is a restaurant I've been eating in for years, which I can't mention. But the point is, I sat down, the service was terrible, I asked for a carb salad. Why is it this guy can't get waiters and waitresses? Nobody wants to work. And not only that, brings me my carb salad, I'm looking, and I'm eating it while I'm talking to somebody, and it's just like, where's my turkey? There were like 3 slices of boar's head polluted turkey in it. But there was nothing else, you know. What are you going to do when the quality of your goods drops so precipitously? I mean, and you can tell how bad inflation is from a restaurant that used to be A1, now has a shitty carb salad. I would hate to see what the tuna salad looks like. You wonder what they're going to be serving. So, on food, so they brought those North Korean soldiers into Russia, and they sent them with some food, and the Russians were trading with them, and they got these cans. True story. They were looking at it until somebody translated for them. The North Korean soldiers had canned dog. And right on there, it said exactly what breed it was that they breed for food. These poor Russians are sitting there thinking, oh, we're going to get rid of our Russian K rations. The next thing you know, they're eating Korean dog. On that note, okay, I'm going to bring up our first comic, who I don't realize who it is, but since he's chuckling, Aaron McIntyre. Make sure you don't mess up the Aaron. Aaron.
Yeah, just think of aeronautics. Just aeronautics, you know, because Aaron should be Aaron. Because of aardvark. Right? Am I right or wrong?
Of course.
Yes, thank you. That's all I needed, just a little affirmation. Because I have very low self-esteem. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Yes, it is Aaron. It's not Aaron. It's not Aaron. It's Aeron, not Aaron. So don't call me Aaron. Because I'm sick of it. And it's not Aaron, it's not E-R-I-N. There's no E-R-I-Ns in here tonight, I'm assuming, because that's a girl's way. Sorry. It's a girl's way to spell it. Every time I go in to get like a Jamba Juice or something, they'll say, what's your name? I'll say Aaron, and they'll write E-R-I-N. And it really hits me because, you know, as I said, I have low self-esteem, and I need it to be spelled correctly, and so I always have to spell it for them. I am also bipolar. I have bipolar disorder. They used to call it manic depressive, but I guess some politically correct people thought that was just too triggering for the manic people, too triggering for the depressed people. I think it's a better description because I think bipolar makes you think about, you know, like bicoastal. You don't live on both poles, so it's a completely completely different thing. And, I did learn something about the North Pole. The North Pole doesn't have penguins. Did everybody notice that? There's no penguins on the North Pole. How come they're on the South Pole? Is it like evolution? Is it better down on the South Pole? Then I figured it out. It's because Santa kicked them out because all the elves were fucking all the penguins. So they couldn't get their toy making done because they were too busy. They were busy. Let's see here. The election, that was fun. I can't wait for J.D. Vance's first term. It should be interesting. I noticed it was very interesting that he kept saying, J.D. Vance, they kept asking him about 2025, and he kept saying, no, President Trump doesn't want that. Well, President Trump may not want that. It seems like he does now. But J.D. Vance sure as hell does, because he wrote the foreword to the book that, what's his name, wrote, one of the guys who put it all together. Some of that stuff was pretty fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Get rid of the NOAA. We don't need the fucking weather. Who needs the weather? Right? All I have to do is fucking walk outside and look up at the sky. I know what the weather is. I can't predict the future, but I can wear a raincoat. I'll just carry an umbrella all the time and carry an extra layer. That's basically it. I have a t-shirt and a long sleeve shirt, which is what I have on right now because that's just how I roll. That's just how I roll. So I do think it is going to be fun, and I think that it's when 16 happened, when he got elected the first time, before he got elected, I was like, if he gets elected, it's going to be exactly what this fucking country deserves. Not needs, but deserves. If everything works out and prices come down and gas is, less expensive and, they don't do a national abortion ban, which, I don't think that's going to go through. They're not going to be able to pull that off. But, if it doesn't and more of the states come out and say what people actually want, because Trump absolutely said, we've been trying to get rid of it for 50 years. Everybody wanted it out of there. And it's like, well, I didn't. How many people in here did? I certainly didn't. But if all that happens, prices come down, I will be very, very appreciative of Donald Trump. I will say, he's a fucking rapist and a convicted felon. And I know there's lots of, everybody does it, but not everybody is running for president. That's the way I look at it. It's like business people who do that shit. Okay, well, they fuck people over, but I think that was kind of important. But it looks like those other two federal things are going to just be swept away magically. So he won't be convicted of that, which is, that's fine. I don't want to see people in jail. It doesn't make me feel good to see people in jail, no matter who they are, no matter if they grab my pussy or not. Because I am a big pussy. I'm the biggest pussy. Just so everyone knows out there in TV land too, on YouTube. Big pussy. I just don't like pain. I just never understood why people fight. There has been absolutely nothing I have been called or nothing that has been said to me. And fortunately, I haven't been in the position where I had to protect someone, because I think that's the only place where I would probably do something. Protect myself, I don't give a shit. I'll take a punch and, go, well, do you feel better now? If you feel better, good for you. I feel better because you didn't beat the shit out of me, because I really am a bad fighter. I'm not afraid of dying. I just don't like pain. Not afraid of dying. I've had a lot of thoughts of that. And, as a matter of fact, if I was on a plane and the plane was going down and it was crashing, as long as the trajectory was like really steep, I'd be standing up in the aisles going, woo! It'd be like a fucking ride, I would love that. Because it'd be over like that, and, that's fine. I'll go to another life, because I'm from Berkeley. We in Berkeley all believe that we're all coming back as swans and mosquitoes and doves. The peace dove. That's who I'm going to be. Also, I have been an actor for a long time, which is a great segue into the classes. So I've been teaching acting, and I was an actor, and I've been in, some stuff. I got a residual check the other day, and it was for all of the foreign distribution for this stupid movie which I made with a really horrible person, who everybody knows. Anyway, it was for all of the foreign distribution for the last year. $17. Yeah, baby. Yeah, and I love getting those checks for like $269. It's like, oh, great. Where they take taxes out of this little amount of money and give you $2.69. Been getting those for years, and it's great. Okay, so now, since I only have a minute left, right? Minute? Okay. Okay. All right. So we're going to be having a workshop here, an acting workshop. I've been teaching up in the Bay Area for 35 years, and I've been teaching adults mostly, and then over the last 10 years, I started working with young adults. I've been taking classes. I've taken classes from a lot of different people, even while I was teaching, because you can always get more information. The way I look at acting is, as soon as you learn everything there is to learn about acting, you should die, because you've learned everything about being a human being. So you got to be self-aware. Got to know who you are. You got to look at your behavior, got to look at all of the stuff that's going on in your head, and bring it out. So the workshop is going to be working on scripts. We're going to kind of go over a new process for working on lines so that you don't have to memorize. That's right. You don't have to memorize. As a matter of fact, memorization gets in the way of good acting, in my opinion, when you got to be there in a couple of minutes, because sometimes that's what you get. You come in the morning and they go, "Oh, we rewrote your whole scene," and you gotta be able to pull it out of the bag. So it's on December 8th. That's a Sunday. So it's a Sunday. Got the day off. 4 o'clock we start working with young adults. And then at 7 o'clock, we start working with adults. Young adults, I'm looking at it like 10 to 17. Don't want any little kids, because I don't want to be playing kindergarten games. This is serious stuff. So please join us December 8th, 10835 Santa Monica Boulevard, the LA School of Comedy, right here. Have a lovely night, and chuckle. Chuckle a little. Have a little fun. I'm going to bring up Mark Zafran once again.
What is your social media now?
Oh, yeah, my social media. You can find me at Film Actors Cafe on Instagram, or my personal one is Aaron McIntyre. That's AeronMacIntyre. So the last part all rhymes, so should be able to remember it. All right. Mark, join us up here.
Aaron. When a guy makes such a big deal about his strange name, you wonder how many different names he's had in his life. How many have you had, Aaron?
3.
There you go. Which one was given to you by your parents?
Oh, you don't want to know it. I don't want to know it.
Yeah, I wonder. Here's Karen McIntyre. I just love the Trump trauma dump. It's great. Because I'm curious, why would a man worry about his reproductive rights? I'm just, especially somebody of advanced age, over 50, chances of getting somebody pregnant aren't that great. Your daughter lives in New Zealand. Exactly what stake do you have in abortion rights? You wonder, everybody's sitting yelling about Trump's going to get rid of abortion rights. Well, considering the fact that on the ballot, how many states have voted for some form of abortion, it's kind of weird where it's become such an issue. It did lose the election for Kamala Harris. She should have concentrated on my carb salad. I mean, when you get down to it, if you're a guy, if you're a woman... If you're a woman in Pennsylvania in which you have free access to abortion, you're not caring about that. You're worried about your carb salad. You know? I mean, today I tried. This was the height of craziness. I went up to the Chevron station down the street to try to fill up my socially permissive electric car. Out of the 5 electric car filling stations, the little things, 2 were allegedly working. Except that they were doing construction on the gas station, and 3 of them were filled with trucks for the construction, because these guys can give a hell. And you have to there's almost going to be fistfights now. Because the other day, this is only in L.A., I pull into the spot, I go to charge the car, thing doesn't work. Some idiot, there's somebody in the next, little area where you fill in on your slot, and some idiot in his brand new Audi, hey, I'm cool, I got an Audi electric car, backs in between the 2 cars where there is absolutely no slot, and goes to my kiosk and goes and plugs in the other hose. Now, you can only plug in 1 hose at a time. You can only charge 1 car at a time. But this guy must have just gotten his Audi, so I honk him. Because what was I doing? I was on the phone with EVgo. EVgo is great. They got the best customer service you've ever seen. The most polite people, they actually speak English. There's only one problem. The product doesn't work. And this guy turns around to me and goes, thanks for honking. I said, well, thank you for being a jerk and trying to plug it in on my thing. What would happen if it worked on yours? You'd steal my electricity? I've been noticing, though, that the electric cars are becoming a very interesting problem in this state. It's going to get worse because these people like EVgo are paid a subsidy by Gavin Newsom's government. The minute he's out next year, these subsidies may be going away because he's putting away a lot of money for lawfare, and he's putting a lot of money away for, what else is he putting money away for? I don't know. All I'm ever going to remember of Gavin Newsom is lunch or dinner at the French Laundry while I was starving. Anyhow, our next comic, can I have a list? Because I don't know anybody other than Patty and Alan there. I don't remember people's names. I'm old. You can tell I'm old. You see, I'm wearing rescue sandals today. Hunter. Where's Hunter? Oh, I thought Hunter. Wait, I heard Hunter was in town, by the way. Isn't he on trial this week? Aren't they sentencing him in his tax case?
We have a Hunter here.
I know we do. Let's call up Hunter. I'm sorry I can't remember, but I say, this is not really my job. It's not my job. Don't forget to yell out your social media.
Keep it going for Grumpy Mike Wazowski.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to talk about the election. They got 2 years. Let's see what happens, y'all. They do, the House of Representatives, that whole thing. So I got a car. I'm 31. Thank you. Some of you don't seem impressed. You're like, I've been driving since I was 16. Look, okay, I got mislabeled a truant in high school, and you're not listening. I've had a life, okay? But I did it, all right? And then I moved to New York City when I was 18 and didn't need a car. And then when I did need a car, I had moved to New York City and developed depression. So it took a minute. This is fun vibes.
Yeah, man.
It's great. I'm loving life. I came. I'm arrived. It's here. I don't know. The thing that finally pushed me to get a car was I got emasculated by a robot. Those automated self-driving taxis, right? I thought they were the coolest thing, which they are, super dope. So I got in one, and I had this moment. The only way I can describe it is I was sitting, and the car was driving, and I was watching it drive, and I was sitting doing nothing, and the robot was driving. Basically, I got cucked by a Waymo, and I was like, oh, I should get a car. It's a Prius, which I I realize, like, a Prius is not the coolest car. Like, I think it's sick, but I know it's not. And I probably should have thought about that more, because I showed a picture of this Prius to my girlfriend, and she was like, oh, I could see you in that. Yeah, there was the chuckle. She can imagine me in a Prius? That's not a good look. Right? If my phone dies, I want her worried that I'm like outrunning the police, not giving Greta Thunberg a lift. You know what I mean? I can see you in that. I don't know. I gotta talk to her because she said that she could see me in a Prius, and then I bought these new pants, and she said, little gayer than normal. So I don't know. Than normal? I don't know. We're figuring it out. The Prius is fun. You can catch me before the shows yelling my set to myself inside of it. It's cool. I don't know. The world's weird right now. Like, I don't even mean the election. I just mean, like, in general. Like, sometimes I get down on it and I feel, like, really sad, but then I just think of, like, how far we've come. Like, stuff gets shitty, but like it's way better than it used to be. Like, I was born in 93, so like raised in the 90s, early 2000s. That was a weird energy as a whole. Like, I don't know if I was molested, but I disassociate near an Abercrombie and Fitch. Right? Something about giant black and white thirst traps and that smell. I just dissolve. Just into like a high school locker room, like, help me. Okay. We're alive. I used to be really into the internet. Anyone else? Yeah. I feel like I'm losing, not belief in it, but like it's not, I feel like I've lost a friend, I guess, because the internet, it was always crazy, but like back in the day, it wasn't like siloed into these like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok apps. It was just you'd click a link and see where you'd end up, right? Like you'd start out like playing a Flash game on Cartoon Network, and then you'd like end up at a lemon party before you go to bed. And if you don't know what a lemon party is, 2002, back in the day, out of the UK, there was this group, Lemon Party. It was a political group. You would go to lemonparty.org, and you'd get to lemonparty.org, and all there was a single JPEG of three dudes sucking each other's whole dicks. Just whole dick in the mouth. 2002, simple time, right? That's what the internet used to be. It was weird, but it was like out in the distance. But now I feel like the internet, it's like a really cool friend we made who we get like, we're kind of odd, but we're like, this person's cool, let's invite them to our birthday party, thinking they'd show up, they'd bring cool vibes, but they showed up at your birthday party with P. Diddy in tow. Right? Like you thought the internet was about like fun, community, music. No, it's dark web, baby oil, and the fall of Western civilization. Cool. There's a lot of buzz about AI right now. AI this, AI that. Are you a fan of like the AI art stuff?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
You think it's cool? I was on your boat. I was into it for like a long time. I like started using DALL-E when it first came out. But like as time has gone on, like nothing's really impressing me. Like it's not like transgressive, thought-provoking art. It really feels to me like people who couldn't draw in middle school can now draw dumb stuff like they're in middle school, right? It's not like transgressive thoughts about the human robot condition. It's like, meh, punk rock Naruto, or meh, big-titted Bugatti, or meh, Mickey Mouse doing nitrous, voting MAGA. Oh boy, right? Like it's not... Basically, I feel like the internet and AI is just that weird kid growing up who had a sketchbook, and you should never look inside of the sketchbook. Like, for all that's good in the world, save yourself. Don't read it. Do you use ChatGPT at all? I'm sorry for picking on you. Yeah, what do you use ChatGPT for?
Oh, I'll use it to write an email.
An email?
If I have to write an email asking somebody for something.
Okay, like who and why?
Like a job.
Okay.
I'll be like, hey, ChatGPT, write me like a friendly email to this person.
I did the same thing this week with like subject lines. Do you tell it thank you?
Do I think ChatGPT?
Hell yeah, do you thank ChatGPT?
I'm pretty polite.
Yeah, you're polite? Cool, hell yeah, man. Because some people aren't, and I'll talk about that in a second, but some people aren't. And the thing that I come down to is I'm not going to be one of these people who's like, AI is secretly conscious and moving us into a direction, or AI is going to rise up and kill us all. But like, if that happened, why do they want ChatGPT to think they're rude? Right? Like, also, I just have to say, I've done this joke like 6 or 7 times, and every single time I ask a man if they are polite to ChatGPT, they say yes. And every time I ask a woman, they say no. Some, I guess, about bringing life into the world makes you not impressed by a robot that can talk. Just a side note. I don't know. I feel like they're shoving AI into like everything in like places it doesn't need. Like I have a Windows computer, and there's this thing called Microsoft Copilot, which some of us are familiar with. And I wasn't going to use it because I was like, I don't need it on the desktop. I'll just go to the website, whatever. And so I just opened it one day because I misclicked it, and it popped up. It was like a normal web page with like news articles and clips and all that stuff. But there was a little microphone button, and I was like, I'm not going to click that. But then one day I got really high, and I was like, I'm going to click that button. So I clicked the button, and then all of a sudden everything like fades away, and like a login screen pops up, and I'm like, oh, that's a nice little graphic. And then all of a sudden it starts talking, right? And it's not like, oh, hey, I'm Copilot, how may I help you, right? It's not like that. It's like, oh boy, I'm sorry, I was at an AI party. The computer told me it was at an AI party. Here's the thing. I don't go to people parties, and I'm okay with that. But, like, I want to go to an AI party. I don't need FOMO from my computer, right? An AI party sounds sick. I want to go do ketamine with Siri. I want to watch Alexa and OK Google make out. Like, that would be kind of cool. You guys have been an audience. My name has been Hunter White. You can find me on the internet at My Name is Hunter, and this Wednesday at The Mix with Patty. All right, give it up one more time for Mark Zaffron.
I'm entirely too old to like AI. And why? Because I'm a science fiction fan. How many here in this room read Dune? Didn't see the movie, but read the book. So you know what the Butlerian Jihad was. Butlerian Jihad in that book was the war against sentient computers. And of course, there's been a whole lot going on television about sentient computers. Star Trek, Star Wars, everywhere, they always turn against us. All right? The reason why women are not polite to ChatGPT is because it has a man's voice. They just don't want to be mansplained by a fucking AI. It's as simple as that. Don't tell them anything. It's like these girls I saw on the TV, so the good thing about the election is some of the craziest stuff is coming out that people are doing. Like, how about these girls that are shaving their heads? And they're giving up sex and everything else. Okay, that's great. There's somebody else down the line. But I will say, I remember when the internet started, it was called a RapNet. And it was owned by Caltech and the U.S. government. And there were people that actually had all those chat rooms that have been going back forever. The same nerdy guys have been going on the same, except they didn't get porno. I don't know how they survive without porno. And somebody was surprised the other night that there's free porno. Yeah, some public figure said, well, I didn't know about Pornhub. What are you talking about? You don't know about Pornhub. What do you think your kid was doing in the other room? Anyhow, Mr. Lloyd?
Oh, me?
Yes, you're next.
Come up here.
Yes, come on up.
Oh, thank you.
You don't want to hear me.
What's your name?
I'm Mark.
Mark. Give it up for Mark, everyone.
Yeah, be polite to the AI.
I'll be polite to the AI. Give it up for Mark, everyone. Thank you for having me. My name's Eli Lloyd. I'll show you my whole head here. How are you? I just turned 30. It's exciting. Thank you. Appreciate it. Turning 30, I'll tell you what, it's a little anticlimactic. I don't feel great about it because, when you turn 18, you can vote. When you turn 21, you can drink. When you turn 30, your favorite porn star dies. Which, it's a hard thing to talk about. people come up to you and be like, how you doing? How you hanging in there? It's like, yeah, I just kind of thought I had more time with her. Yeah. They're a little bit like your childhood dog in that way, where you get very attached in your teen years and they don't last forever, mine did. She was 80, so I had a ripe, long life, She was cool. She broke the color barrier. I'm not going to, discredit her with her name. Her memory will live on. I've also thought about the fact that you don't really get to have another one, What am I going to do, make another favorite porn star in my 30s? You get the one, just like the childhood dog, and even if you get a new one, I don't care if it's blonde like the old one. It's not the same. So I'm coming in with a little bit of a grieving energy, I guess. I grew up in the same sort of time period as the last guy. What was your name? Hunter. Grew up at a weird time. I remember vividly seeing Lemon Party. I also remember the first time this guy brought me, into the bathroom at school. Bear with me, and he showed me a video of Saddam Hussein being hanged by the neck until dead. Okay? And then I go home, and my mom is like, are you going to do your homework today? And I go, or what? And she's like, I'll ground you. I go, you and what caliphate? It was hard to pay attention after that. It was hard to care about anything, I think. I remember I grew up in this neighborhood. I grew up like 10 minutes from here. And I know your first impression probably that I'm not a very tough guy, but I'll let you know a lot of us took karate up until at least the yellow belt. So you better fucking hope you don't run into us if you happen to be a small piece of wood. Fucking break you in half, I don't know why we were all learning karate. I think it was just an opportunity to pay a man with a very sad ponytail. I'm Jewish. Okay, all right. Oh, I get it. You never know. I'm Jewish. I don't always get along with Jews because I'm happy. And we're not always happy people. I think what I don't have that they have is I'm very optimistic, like an optimistic Jew. Jews love to complain. They love to see the worst in things. Ugh is kind of our noise. Ugh. We want to complain so badly that we'll put an ugh before we're even done saying a word. But, like, for example, if I had been in the Holocaust, I would have been insufferable. And my fellow Jews, I'd been first day, I would have been like, guys, bunk beds. Triple bunk beds? Our wives are on a whole other part of camp. This is going to be awesome. Yeah, I don't think I would have lasted. I hate to seem stupid. It's probably my number one fear is to seem stupid. So I'll go to great lengths to avoid looking stupid, but I also can't multitask at all. Like I went to the bathroom once and I took a phone call while I was at a urinal and I forgot to zip my pants back up. So I walked back into a restaurant with my dick visible through my underwear. But I still was on the phone, so I was like, yeah, hey, pants store. These pants are fucking defective. That kind of worked. I don't want to seem dumb. I was walking through a Jewish neighborhood in New York, and one thing I do know about Orthodox Jews, I was raised as a sort of Reform Jew, but Orthodox Jews, they treat the Sabbath as a very holy day, you can't service your pleasure, is how it says in the Bible. You can't, obviously, service your pleasure, but you can also not do sort of normal things. You're not even allowed to turn your air conditioning on, like if it's too hot, because it's a very sort of stoic day for them. So I was walking through this Jewish neighborhood, and I saw this older Jewish guy. He was dripping with sweat. He comes over to me, and I'm like, I know what this is. This guy wants me to go inside and jerk him off. So I don't want to seem stupid, so I go inside and I'm jerking this old Jewish guy off. And by the way, he was very friendly. His son comes in, son dripping sweat. I'm like, well, fool me twice. And now I'm jerking both of them off. And the wife comes in, sweat just, dripping from her wig thing. And she goes, would you mind turning the air conditioning? I go, you give these people an inch. They're crazy. I feel like I'm at my bar mitzvah right now. One of the worst ROIs you could fucking imagine. If you thought of your bar mitzvah as a guest, from the perspective of a guest, like someone's like, hey, we're going to go see Eli Lloyd perform. It's like, oh, what's he do? He's like, oh, he's going to read from this ancient scroll. It's like, do we speak the language? No, almost no one does. Is he good at singing? He can't carry a tune to save his fucking life. Oh, the tickets must be cheap. No, you're going to have to write him a check for $211. Greatest show I ever put off in my entire life. Most money I will ever be paid to perform, I'm sure. I had a physical recently, a doctor. Apparently, if they could tell how much you're drinking based on a blood test, and my doctor was like, how much do you drink? I go, I'm not tallying it up. And he goes, well, how often do you black out? I go, that's none of my business. I don't know, he told me to cut back a little bit. But I like drinking. I like smoking weed. I like taking pills as well. Not like any of the fun pills. I like to take this one pill because I have nightmares. I got this like sleeping pill. Basically, what happened was, how much time do I have left?
You got plenty of time.
Okay, cool. Great news for these guys, huh? Just kidding. Basically what happened is I was diagnosed with night terrors. Anyone know what night terrors are? Okay, you know what night terrors are? Night terrors are, it's like a nightmare, but you want attention. And so I got diagnosed with those, and I went to the doctor, and basically what was happening is I had this recurring nightmare where there was like a long man in the corner of my room with like a tight ass, like a long man just like in the corner. And I couldn't move. I'd be like petrified looking at this long guy. So I went to the doctor, and I was like, I'm having this persistent dream. And he's like, I'm going to prescribe you something called melatonin. I go, first of all, that's not a prescription. I'd like whatever killed Michael Jackson, if that's okay. Do you want to see the man again? I did the impression for him. He loved it way more than you guys did. And he gave me something called gabapentin. Does anyone know what gabapentin is? It's very commonly prescribed. It's a dog seizure medication, which is fine. It works okay. You have to take it with peanut butter, which I don't love. And it takes me 30 minutes just to get it down. And I finally get it down. I do 3 circles in bed, And I'm waiting to go to sleep. I fall asleep finally. I wake up in the middle of the night. Long man is gone. Now it's just a mailman in the corner of my room. Anyway, I'm Eli Lloyd. Thank you very much. Eli Jonathan Lloyd. Thank you. At Eli Jonathan Lloyd.
Jesus. Thank you.
Hold up for Marco.
It's fascinating. All you guys get up here, you're on YouTube, you want attention, you want people to clap. They're not going to know who you are unless you're on social media. I don't get it. Why I have to remind you all the time to tell me where we're going to find you? Don't you want them to know where you are when they call you up to star in the next Steven Spielberg extravaganza? Like maybe you can be the prince that got, if I had the prince in Sleeping Beauty. Rachel Ziegler certainly didn't want a prince. She also just threw her co-star under the bus, Gal Gadot. I don't know how she managed to lift her. That's one tough little Israeli lady. Anyhow, while you were talking about all your sexual fantasies and everybody here and the internet, it reminded me of something I just saw in the paper, and not on Fox News. Lamar Odom bought they're making sex dolls that look just like the Kardashians. I don't know which one of those ladies he was married to, but he bought a sex doll that looked just like her. He actually went to the factory in Vegas to pick out exactly how we wanted it to be. Now, we've reached this. I thought the Japanese were crazy with their sex dolls. Can you imagine when Elon Musk creates the very first robotic sex doll? What are you going to do then? What are the hookers going to do? They're going to be thrown right out of business. AI-powered sex dolls. It'll be fun. And on that note, we're going to call up the Accountant of the Year Award, Mr. Alan Weiss.
I always like to be brought up to sex doll. That's my favorite. Because I, represent one. No. I'm Alan Weiss. Thank you. I'm an accountant.
Yeah.
So I want to teach you rule number 1 of tax evasion. Don't tell anybody that you're doing tax evasion. Rule number 2 of tax evasion is don't tell anyone you're doing tax evasion. It's like Fight Club, but with tax evasion. People were talking about inflation. Oh, we need to have the Cobb salad price go down. The Cobb salad price is not going to go down. It doesn't matter what president's going to be in office. This is, in order to have the Cobb price go down, you have to have deflation. And they're not going to want this deflation, because that is even worse than inflation. So the Cobb price is going to stay where the Cobb price is going to stay. Just make more money. I like how we call them young adults, not minors. I guess that's not politically correct anymore to call them a minor. I always liked it when I was little to be thinking that I'd go to the majors one day, knowing that they could never kick me back down to the D League because I'm in the majors of human life. I'm adult. Okay. I went to this club. And I'm with my friend and his lady friend, and then me, and in walks this lady with a jacket, and the jacket was open, and all she was wearing underneath it was lingerie, and you could see it. And so my friend was thinking, I want to tap that. The girl was thinking, I wish I had the courage to do that, and I was thinking it must be laundry day. I have a Tesla. So I support Elon Musk, I guess, indirectly or directly. So they gave me a free 1 month of the self-driving mode. They just let me have it drive me around. I don't call it self-driving mode. I call it student driver mode, because the whole time you're going like, brake, 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 and hoping you don't die. That's for anybody who's ever taught someone how to drive. Right? You know how that is. You're like, they should have other modes too. They should have road rage mode, where it just really tails the guy in front of you, and blinking lights and blinkers and lights flashing. They could have a senior mode, where it goes really slow in the fast lane. They could have indecisive couple mode, where it just drives you to a restaurant. That's my favorite mode. So when my girlfriend was like, where should we eat? Just be like, Tesla, drive me where you want to go. It'd probably always be the same place. Like McDonald's or something. What does that say? I don't know. Hold on. It says, I was at a restaurant, and this waiter gave us a check, and then we gave the check back, and we gave him the pen back. He's like, oh, no one ever gives the pen back. They always steal it. As he was taking our debit card and putting it in his pocket. I was like, oh, he's a magician. Sleight of hand there. No one takes the pen while he takes my credit card. Didn't realize that until you were outside and like, wait a second, where's my credit card? And now I bought another car somehow. I know. I went to do pickleball. I did pickleball. I tried it. I tried pickleball for the first time. And they have weird names for things. Like they have this area called the kitchen. And in the kitchen, you're not allowed to go into the kitchen. And if you're conservative, you're also not allowed to go in the kitchen unless you're a woman. At this pickleball court, they had they had this sign that said, be kind and encouraging, and then it had all the laws of Santa Monica that you were allowed to do and not do. So it said prohibited camping in public. Then it said defecating and urination and public drinking. So I did them. I was like, well, your sign didn't say you couldn't. Made it felt like I had to. I'm like, you said urination. I decided I think the sign is more like, says no camping, no drinking. It should just say no fun. That should just be the last one. What? Oh, AI. I do use AI. It's great to research. If you need to look up something now, you don't have to go to 400 different websites. You can just type it in, and it tells you exactly what you need to know. Saves you a lot of time. And then if you want fake facts, it'll give you those too, which is nice too. But it's programmed by a bunch of nerds, right? It's not like, what do you expect it's going to do? It's going to tell you how to do nerd things, like get to the best porn sites, be an incel. No wonder why women don't want to use it. It's an incel. An incel created it, and now it's an incel. And now the women are like, I'm not going to give that guy any action. Okay, so that's my stuff that I've been writing. What else should we write about? I had something in here. I know the fun part is looking at your phone for things you want to talk about or just work on. I went to my doctor's office, my doctor, and while he had his fingers in my ass, asked me if I had any concerns about my sexual activity. I said, yes, I don't have any, but now I do. That was included in copay. I have a birthday too. I'm turning 42. Yeah, so I'm 12 years older than you, which is scary. I'm an accountant, so every year I close my books. I make sure all the bad things get depreciated. All the good things I appreciate. I write off all things I don't like, and any relationship that I'm still in that's not going well and I can't get out of, it's just a sunk cost. And that's just really, really counting-y. And you're like, wow, this guy might really be an accountant. Order food. I now, in the old days when I grew up, they used to have, when you want to get a burger with cheese, you had to add extra for cheese. It was like they charge you more for it, right, Patty?
They did.
But now they don't. They just give you the burger with the cheese, and you don't have to pay more. But I don't do dairy because I can't do dairy, so I always just ask for the cheese on the side. So at least I charged them for it. I don't get, I don't know what the word is, but I don't get screwed on the money, and then I throw it away. I always tell people, you don't need Botox, just get fat. It's cheaper. Well, not now because there's inflation, so it's harder. Costs a lot more to get fat. Should we have more skinny people now because inflation? Right? Yeah, because it's more expensive to buy a Big Mac. Yeah, we should all become skinny now. This is the Democrats' plan. The liberals' plan, their agenda to help make us lose weight is to have inflation so we can't afford food, and then we become skinny. Unbelievable. We figured it out here at the LA School of Comedy, where conspiracies are made. Awesome. There's a light. That is a light. Get off the stage. You suck. I think that was all I had. Okay. I was wondering, what if there was an introverted ghost? They have ghosts. What if there was an introverted ghost? Would he just stay away from everybody? Like, stop following me, you ghost hunters. I just want to be left alone and read my book. Would a dyslexic ghost go, ob? But if you're really dyslexic, it really be do, okay, because you flip the D and the B. And I'm dyslexic, so I would know that. I was like, ob. I'm like, ob. No, it's do. I've been flipping my D's and B's for years. Okay, thank you very much. My name is Alan Weiss. You can find me on Alan W. Weiss online. Thank you very much.
Where is Pete Buttigieg? Has anybody seen him in a while?
He's on a train.
Has he disappeared? Is he back in South Bend, or did he adopt another baby? And he's on paternity leave again. Well, maternity leave. You can't tell anymore. The reason I was thinking of Pete Buttigieg is because everybody tonight's been complaining about the size of my carb salad. The truth is that the person who's truly to blame for the size of my carb salad and inflation and shrinkflation is Pete Buttigieg. Why is it that we all forgot that beautiful scene of 1,000 ships stuck off Long Beach Harbor? They're still unloading those frickin' ships. You know? Then Pete was on maternity leave. All right? That being said, which makes no sense to anybody else. And of course, Alan, you made me think of Santa Claus. Yes, Santa Claus with his lists and his being nice and your party and your notes. He was the first accountant. He must be the patron saint of accounting. And since we're talking about patron saints, it is always... How did the Irishman know to get up? Anyhow, Patty!
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you one more time for Mark Zafford. Where is Pete? He's that cantankerous guy that sat next to at Thanksgiving. This has been I don't quite know. I just want to say this. I feel great. I feel fucking great. And when I got up today, you know, I feel fucking great. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to get my car. I'm going to drive 32 minutes and pay $10 to be mildly ignored by my peers. But not you guys. Look at now. A lot of people think of these open mics like Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas thinks of affirmative action, the soft bigotry of low expectations. But not here, am I right? Woo! Yes, thank you. I want to clear up. I got like a beef. I got a little beef. I want to clear up a rumor that was. I'm not going to say who started it. Eli Lloyd. That. Listen to me. That I spent Shabbat dinner on Epstein's Island. First of all, some of you that know me, that's enough. I know you're behind this. Know that I'm not even Jewish. That part is true. But I am what's called a Shabbat Goy, or a Shabbat Goyim, which translated literally means one of the good ones, which is what my father used to call Sammy Davis Jr. So I don't quite know exactly how I feel about that. Having said that, I'm going to confirm this rumor. It is true. I was there for Shabbat dinner back in 2017, but only to turn the sex toys on and off after dinner. So it's not exactly as it seems. Wow! Just wow, baby! I'm high. Wow! You know what I think the last fucking few years have proved, if anything? We don't really even need a president. You know, all this thing, we don't, because there mostly wasn't one for the past 3 years. You know, he would pop up every once in a while. And it's almost like someone, like there was a whole other thing going on. You know, we really didn't need it. And now, like, clap if you know who Joy Reid is. She's on MSNBC. She's this woman, she has a different hairdo every day. Like, I want to see like a medley of her hairdo. But she's very, very upset. And she's fucking upset. And she calls that because of the Trump victory, it is now paradise for white men. Which is funny because that's what Candace Owen refers to her vagina as. But all right, take your time. But she was on MSNBC today, and she said because she's mad at white women, apparently they didn't vote the way that she wanted. So she said she actually said this. She said, half of those white hoes are below average. Fucking believe that? Look, but here, let's analyze this. Okay, first of all, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Some of you may think less of me. That's okay. That's all right. Because I have friends on both sides of the spectrum. All Trump voters aren't racists. Many of them are on the spectrum. Many of them are on the spectrum. You know what I mean? Did he win over the swastika pancake breakfast demographic? Absolutely. Without a doubt. Are all Trump supporters racist? No. But all racists are Trump supporters. Yes. But let's think about this. There's not enough of them to win the fucking election with a popular vote of that. It's fucking impossible, which only proves what I've always said, that there's way more assholes than racists. Am I right? Yeah. Way more. You couldn't get the thing with Trump now the whole Hitler thing for a while was kind of crazy. And I'm going to go on a limb here, you know. I don't mean to speak ill of the dead. I never met Hitler. He's not here to defend himself. I'll give him that. But, you know, he certainly was not funny. But, you know, he didn't have any Jewish writers. Well, I'll say a thing. He did invent half the high five. And eventually he did kill Hitler. But unlike Donald Trump, he actually wrote that book. You take your time with that. And he was deep into identity politics, Hitler. It's a different kind of fucking. But the other thing, I don't want to do this because it's a pervert thing, like to compare the competence of Hitler to Donald Trump. Because if Hitler wanted to build a fucking wall, am I right? This fucking guy would have built a wall. Trump is more like a fucking orange Caligula or equal parts Mussolini and a bloated Ryan Seacrest. You know, he's just but here's the deal. Clap if you have now a single friend that's an asshole. Not one?
Oh, at least.
Or many?
Many.
This is another. No, let's talk about tolerance for a second. Everybody is an asshole at times, and some people are constantly assholes. But I will admit there are some people who are constantly assholes who I really like. And they say fucked up shit a lot, and I don't agree with everything that they do. But I think if we're more inclusive of assholes, like there was a whole idea about, you know, women being disappointed and not giving up no pussy no more. Did you see this? This is severe. They're having a sit down, no pussy motherfucking strike. But what will happen is this: conservatives will outbreed you. It's a bad strategy, is what I'm saying. Am I wrong? God damn it, Eli Lloyd! Are we having? We're having a ball. Yeah. Are we having a ball?
Yeah.
I like to call it the pickleball. You know, like I don't know if you've heard, but you know, it's official. I got the word before I come down here to the mic. Ayahuasca is now the pickleball of drugs. Sorry. Try to break it to you. Because when my accountant does something, it's jumped the shark. The magic is fucked. Pickleball. Some of the other day said, you look vaguely like you play pickleball. Pickleball sounds like something I did in Kevin Spacey's hot tub in 2004. It was in an under 5 line. It was a featured role. So, fuck you, it's show business. We do what we can. He still supports me, you know. Kevin, he's a little fucking grabby. I'll give it to you. But this is a rough business. I'm on his new series on Tubi. He plays a disgraced, defrocked, deceased Catholic priest who returns to Earth to give life lessons to attractive young men. The title? Inappropriately Touched by an Angel. All right, that was a long way. It was a good trip to go there. But that's okay, baby. I'm happy. I forget where I was, but I'm happy. I'm happy here to be with all you guys. Oh, pickleball. Pickleball! It's just code for you look like an old white guy who can't afford to golf. It's fucking true. It's 100% true. I can't. You know what? I hope your show business dreams all come true. But like I've done this a long time, sometimes the light doesn't shine on you. You know, like me, I'm successful, don't get me wrong. I just played a gig in the capital of Armenia, Glendale, California, where I am the Elvis tribute artist of choice at the Glendale Senior Living facility. This is not the tippy top of the top or the top of the tippiness. You know, it's on the totem pole of show business. I'm like 2 rungs below rodeo clown. All my dreams come true. They fucking pay me in hummus. Oh, by the way, my show is now sponsored by a fuck ton of hummus. Remember, it's delicious, but it's also a fuck ton of hummus. I don't know where I'm going with this. It's, you know, it's weird, but they're very highly sexual, very horny places, assisted living homes. Way more fucking, oh shit, yeah. They throw underpants at me. You know, a lot of adult diapers. But it's a different age demographic. But they're very horny. Like, you haven't lived your show business groupie dreams until you've turned down a 97-year-old's Viagra and a request to make slow, sweet love. I looked at that old man and I said, fuck no! I'm not that kind of an entertainer! But they're obsessed, some of them, you know? They're obsessed. This old man, you know what he had? He had an Elvis Presley vibrator. So what? It was a white vibrator. It had sideburns. Had 2 speeds, Love Me Tender and Jailhouse Rock. And it actually stole its style from a black vibrator that it neither compensated nor acknowledged. I don't know, a girlfriend had a dildo she had named Thor. You ever notice how nothing's weird if you're into it? I think it was American hip-hop diva Sexy Red who said, everything's a dildo if you're brave enough. Yeah. You know what else she also said, Sexy Red? She said, my pussy pink, my booty hole brown. I've truer words ever been said. I like the language. It comes and it goes like this. Remember this word? It was floating around a while back. Bonus hole. Bonus hole. That's a slap in the vag to every factory-installed pussy that ever existed. A bonus hole. That's not a bonus. That's the jackpot right there, baby. Bonus. I'm glad we got rid of it. Was it us? I think, let's take credit for shit we had nothing to do with. We got rid of it, guys, didn't we? Through our sheer will. Our sheer will. Well, it's gotten to that time in this, Mike, where I ask you, by that I mean all of you, to just look at me and feel a little bit better about yourself. My gift to you. You guys have been marvelous. I've been Patty. PADDYFORCOMEDY. Give yourself a little bit of sugar. Come on! Make it sweeter for me, baby. Make it sweeter. I'm going to bring up the man of the hour, our own intellectual Tony Soprano or kosher Sean Hannity, however we're going to do it. Give it up for Mark Zaffron, shall we?
There you go.
Pow, pow, pow.
Patty. Not that I want to do this, but I have to. I got to fact check Patty.
Oh.
He made this comment that all racists voted for Donald Trump.
You know, it's not a documentary.
You have forgotten Sonny Hostin and Joy Reid. Remember, racism comes in all forms. And there ain't nothing more racist than Joy Reid. I listened to her today. Anyhow, we have another and one more, but probably one of the best comics to come up. He's been sitting in the back writing his material very, very surreptitiously. Anye. Woo! And wasn't your father a minister? Right. There you go. Oh, my God.
Indeed. All right. Let's get to it. Let's get through it. What's good, my good people? I feel like it's been a minute every time I come up here, but no one knows. How goes it, man? how we feeling? You know, post. You know, the election's done, so we don't gotta worry about voting anymore. You know, it's done. I know you said you were basing the economy on like you said the Cobb salad. That's fire, I guess. I mean, I don't be ordering that, so I don't know. But I have noticed like the size of like the candy bars for sure has like been getting smaller, but the price is like going higher. Have y'all noticed that? Like the king size is like the regular size now. Yeah, shrinkflation. That shit is real, bro. And as somebody who smokes a lot of weed, like that's just directly impacting me. Like I can't even have munchies the same way. Like I spent $20 at 7-Eleven the other day, and I just had to look myself like in the rearview mirror of my car, and I was just like, what am I doing with my life? Like $20? I had like 4 candy bars. Like shit used to be different, man. Back in my day, back in the Obama days, right? I don't know how we feel about presidents. I try to win the room with that one. You see, I just put it out there. Usually, it used to be cool. I mean, now Trump's president again. That's just so crazy, bro. That's just so crazy. I don't know. I found a new way, like at work, they told me like it's inappropriate to ask people who they voted for. I was curious. I wasn't trying to get fired though, but I was like finding a way around asking people. Like there's ways to ask without asking. Like it was like the day after the election. I was walking around a little like break room we're in, and I just walk up to people and be like, "Damn, man, can you believe we both voted for her and she still lost?" He's there, he's looking at the reaction, you know. Because occasionally some people like, oh, yeah, man, oh, yeah, they relate. But some people like, oh, well, actually, I know you voted for now. How do you feel about me? It's fun, bruh. It's fun. Like politics, I was really so ready to have a woman president, bro. Like I thought that shit was gonna be hard. Everyone's like, how are other countries gonna feel about us? I'm like, other countries have women leaders. Do y'all know that? Like, I don't know if anyone, like, why are we acting like we be the first? Like, there's literally women in power right now. Like, why are we America, bro? It's cool though. It's cool. I'm an immigrant though. Stall me out, y'all. If y'all disagree with me, I'm an immigrant. Alternate perspective. Legal though. You ain't getting me out of here. Legal. When I say immigrant, like, I'll get him out. I got papers. What do I even want to come up here and talk about, bruh? I don't know. It'd be so much shit going on in my life. You was talking about being like a few steps over a rodeo clown. I mean, that's how I felt when I was doing the trampoline dunking for a while. I was like, this is really like, I'm risking my life. Like, people are just like mildly entertained. And I'm like, I could die realistically, and they don't give a fuck. Like, just make the dunk. Like, I was doing an elementary school show. They flew me out to Chicago, which is cool. They paid for my hotel, paid for my flight. It was dope. And I'm doing this dunk where I had to jump over this like 7-foot pumpkin. Ridiculous. Never done it before, but show was the first time I had to do it. First time I tried it, I almost busted my ass, didn't make the dunk, and as I'm going back, because I'm like, pride alone, it takes over at this point. It's like, I'm gonna do this, right? I've never done it before, I'm gonna do this. This little kid looks at me and he goes, do a backflip. I'm like, the feat in itself that I didn't complete wasn't impressive enough. You want me to double down and backflip? They just don't give a fuck about you, bro. They just don't give a fuck, bro. It's different. Do a fucking backflip. I was pissed. You get up here and do it. It's a little elementary school kid. You can't yell at him. Speaking of having a pastor as my father, I lived a very sheltered life to the point where I didn't really know. I know Vegas was called Sin City, but I thought that was just because like prostitution and like strip clubs. I didn't know that niggas was gambling until like I was like 18. That people was gambling in there. Like, I've been to Vegas so many times, but I've literally done everything you can do in Vegas other than gamble. Like, I've been to like Circus 82 times. You feel me? I've seen the Blue Man Group a bunch of times. I see the magic shows. I've shopped in the mall that looks like the sky, but you're inside. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That shit cool. Like, I was like, this is dope. Like, why do people hate Vegas? Like, what? Sin City, I don't see the sin. And then, like, when I grew up, I was like, you haven't been to Vegas to gamble? Like, everyone's so shocked when I say that. I'm like, yeah, like, I was never into gambling. Like, I don't know if I have money. Like, I'm scared to lose money. Like, I understand the risk of maybe winning more money, but I already have this money. Like, if I lose this money, then I have no money. Like, I don't know. It fucks with me, bro. Like, even, like, sports betting, I couldn't get into it. Like, I never really, like, it's hard for me to get into sports betting because, like, it hurts me internally. You know, when these players, you know, I have this player to score, I don't know, 25 points, and he got 24, and then he subs out, and everybody's clapping, he's smiling, he's hugging his family, he's kissing people, he's enjoying his life. But now I can't eat for the week. You feel me? Like, that $5 was necessary for me. You might not sound like a lot, $5. I'm like, why'd you only bet $5? It's all I'm willing to lose. Not willing to lose any more than $5. It's crazy. But I did find that I can really bet on, like, only sport I can really bet on is, like, boxing, like UFC. Like, I'm cool with that. Because, like, if you lose my money, like, you're getting, like, your ass beat. Like, that's fair. You feel me? Like, I'm feeling your pain as well. Like, that's how I feel. Like, now I see it visually. Like, yes, you might not be able to see out of left eye, but, like, that's how I feel when I can't afford to eat a sandwich today. Like, I got to go home, stretch these chips out. You ever separate, like, a bag of chips for multiple days and it's not the big bag? Like, y'all don't understand struggle. I only got like 17 Doritos in that bag. I'm splitting it for the week. Like, maybe if I eat 2 chips today, if I break it up into a smaller, you know, the big piece, you can break it up into more chips. Y'all don't understand struggle. Y'all never been there. Speaking of struggle, you guys know what grocery outlet is? Grocery outlet. How we feel about grocery outlet? Claps, daps, thumbs up, thumbs down. We fuck with grocery outlet. Dude, I went to some comedy show and this lady just like spent her last 5 minutes of her set just like shitting on grocery outlet. She's like, oh, you know you're poor when you have a grocery outlet in your neighborhood and it's the worst store, da 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 da. And like she just shit on grocery outlet. And like I don't really get offended in comedy, but like that touched me personally. Like I wanted to like get up, like you know when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, like that's how I felt. I was like, this is my moment. Like I gotta get up and press this lady. And after the show, she was like playing pool, and I was like, hey, did you mean what you said on stage? And she was so confused because she said a lot on stage. But I was like, what you the grocery outlet stuff? And she was like, well, yeah. I mean, I'm like, you're already fucking up. Like you don't understand the beauty of grocery outlet. Like everybody who loves Ross needs to understand. If you don't know what grocery outlet is, I'm about to put you the fuck on. All right. It's like Ross for groceries, all right? When you need a white t-shirt, like you about to go out dressed, like you need a dress shirt, you know if you go to Ross, it might not be the perfect dress shirt. It might not be, you know, exactly the dress shirt you was looking for. But if you need a white dress shirt, you will find it at Ross. That's how it is at grocery outlet. If you need bread, they got bread. If you need cereal, they got cereals. Now, what type of cereals? Now, that is the fun of grocery outlet, all right? You never know. You need goldfish, there's goldfish there, but, oh, wait, is this hot sauce flavored goldfish? I've never seen this before. It expires in 3 months. But know what? That's the great thing. You're going to eat it now anyway. Don't worry about 3 months from now. Buy it and enjoy it. I fucking love grocery outlet, man. I fucking love grocery outlet, bro. I would die behind grocery outlet, bro. I swear to God, bro. It's a beautiful experience. One time I was like, all right, no, I want to make burgers today. I went to grocery outlet. They didn't have the burger patties I wanted, but they had some chicken patties. Like they had like fried chicken patties. Like, you know what? Then I'm eating chicken sandwiches today. You feel me? A quick little pivot, but still a beautiful experience. That's the beauty of grocery outlet. So you know, you can't go in there with the designated state of mind. I feel like it's really an image of America, you know, of life. You go, you take what you get. You know, it may not be exactly what you're looking for, but it's a good enough substitute for you to still enjoy life. And the prices, guys, come on now. Where else can you get a whole box of fruit roll-ups for $3.99? That's like good. Come on. I don't know, y'all. I shop like a toddler sometimes, but I don't know. Grocery outlet is perfect for that. Like the amount of shit you can get for $20 in there. Like my money just stretches so beautifully in there. Wow, just me fantasizing about grocery outlet, even though they will be closed by the time I get out of here. Sometimes I go to grocery outlet, I don't even buy anything. I just go and just look at the prices and just adore them. Just like, wow, you guys are doing great. Like they know me by name in grocery outlet. Like, I was on the phone with this girl and I walked in the grocery outlet, start talking to the guy at the grocery outlet. She's like, where are you at? I'm at the grocery store. Grocery outlet. Like, why are you talking to them like that? I'm like, because they know me here. Like I'm a regular at this store. I'm sorry, y'all. That's just a beautiful experience. I was so mad when that lady was shitting on grocery outlet because like some people were laughing who never been to the store. I'm like, what are you talking? You don't. Why are you laughing at this? This is not your life. Like you don't understand the. I didn't care about the election, but fucking talk about grocery outlet and I'm a spaz, bro. I mean, it's people are getting mad about people who voted or didn't vote in California, where it's like it kind of matters because it's like everyone, like realistically, like it's California's probably gonna be blue at the end of the day. Shout out to the Crips, they did their big one. But I was really focused on like the propositions. Like I tried to do a better job of like knowing what was going on, and that shit is very confusing. To someone who has no legal background, even with a master's degree, I'm not gonna lie, it still worked my brain a little bit. But I do love that they do this thing on all the propositions now. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it shows people who support yes and people who support no. And so sometimes if you feel like you read it and you didn't really understand, it's like teachers support it and baby killers hate it, and you're like, okay, well, I don't know, this is kind of tough. And I don't mean baby killers like abortion, I mean like actual like murderers. So you're like, okay, like they have specific, you know, you can just pick a team at the end of it. That's kind of cool. I like that. I feel like they need to start putting celebrities behind it as well. Like what did LeBron vote for? Like, let me know. Like I'm a bronsexual at the end of the day. You know, I'm rocking my mask. Thank y'all so much for the time, though. Just getting back into it. I'm Anya West. It's ONYEWST. Y'all clap up for your host so you can close this out. Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Make the way, make the way.
Yeah.
The age fogs my memory. The complimentary acting workshop by Aaron is December 8th. Please sign up by RSVPing at thefilmactorscafe.com. It is December 8th, 10 to 17-year-olds at 4:30, 18-year-olds at 7 p.m. This is going to be very, very, very good. This is the best. This is going to be the best acting workshop ever because it's free. And on that note, this is the LA School of Comedy. Thank you all very much for coming. I'm not going to dance around like Sunda. And by the way, Anya, I don't know anything about Grocery Outlet. Where's this one in this neighborhood?
There's probably one close by within like the near, like 5 minutes away.
Really? Never been there. Whew.
There's one in Los Angeles.
Is that where you get like the 50 packs of beef that have cobwebs